I wanted to start with I want to tell you a story, but this isn't a story. This might be quasi rant, but maybe not. Well, yeah, it is. And what I want to talk about is I have several things that all of a sudden have wound up on my rant list. And it's really about the words that we use, specific words that really are used, overused, and abused in spiritual communities like healing, alignment. Alignment is just, I can feel the fingernails on the blackboard with that one. Higher consciousness, vibration, you know, awakening, transformation. There's all kinds of words that we use. We just sort of we use them without ever really defining them. So somebody who walks into a spiritual community, and just as a side note, these words are not just unique to Unity. Most spiritual communities, self-help communities, therapeutic communities, they operate from these implicit assumptions that all of these different words, when they're said, people know what they mean, or that everybody's on the same page as far as the definition for these. And my experience over all these years is that could not be further from the truth. And healing is one of them. I think for many of us, healing has come to mean the absence of pain. Like if there's healing, there's no more pain. Whether you're talking physical, mental, emotional, whatever kind of pain, that the pain goes away. If there's healing, the pain goes away. That the grief disappears, the anxiety disappears, the sadness, the frustration, the struggle, whatever the tension or the struggle is, that whatever that is, it disappears. That's what healing means. And no, I don't believe that. There probably was a time when I did. I probably needed to in my own, evolution. I needed to, it reminds me of the cogs in a wheel, like click. Okay, here's a new one. And then click, like as new information comes in and I learn more about me and I question everything, right? So why ruin a good question with an answer? So I've learned to sit with them. But the problem that definition creates, that healing equals pain disappears, is that what happens if the grief remains? What happens if the struggle remains? What happens if the chronic illness stays, or the scar, that the wound, or the memory, or the anxiety still occasionally visits? Just talking about that in a class the other night, that, it's gotten much better for this person and me as well, the anxiety, but it still surfaces. So then the problem is that, well, wait a minute, were you not healed? I don't think that's what it means. I don't know if it even means there's more healing to do. So my question is, well, what if healing actually means something else? That healing is not about the absence of pain, but healing is about the restoration of choice. That's what I think. That it's not about the absence of pain, it's the restoration of choice, which is something very different. So before healing, pain may have been running the show, right? Like the struggle or the challenge, the pain, the grief, whatever, has me rather than me having it. That's a rough, simple way to say that. I react because I have to. I shut down because I have to. I people please because I have to. I numb myself out. I eat, because I have to. So pain is driving, the challenge. And after healing, the pain may still be present, but now there's space. Now there's choice. So after quote unquote healing, or I don't even know if after is the right word, the pain may still visit. The difference, though, the healing, is that it no longer gets to decide, right? The grief arrives. and I can stay with it. I have a choice. The fear comes. Again, I can discern whether it's old conditioning or if there's some wisdom in there, but I have the choice. I think one of the hardest parts is memories, right? A memory arrives, not a pleasant one. And is it information or is it a command? Like, does it have me or is it information? The point is that you have a choice. Pain will still knock on the door. I believe that. I don't think we're ever pain-free. I don't think we're supposed to be. It's one of those, I say our joys and our sufferings are, our joys and our sufferings are our wholeness because they go together. They both mean love, right? So pain can still knock on the door. It just doesn't have a key to get in. Doesn't have a key to get in. Healing is not about how do I make this disappear? How do I make it go away? What's the right denial and affirmation combo? But rather, to have that choice, to have that freedom, that's not what the question is. How do I make it disappear? The question is, what's my relationship to this experience? If healing means the absence of pain, then anyone still struggling, it looks like failure. And I think people sense that. I think they unconsciously or consciously think that, but who wants to say that out loud? Yeah, I've been struggling, if I'm still having pain, so I'm probably not praying this the right way, or not doing enough meditation, or fill in the blank, not enough, whatever. But if healing means the restoration of choice, then I can be profoundly healed while I'm still carrying grief, while I'm still carrying loss, I'm still carrying disability, I'm still carrying uncertainty, I'm still carrying anxiety, I'm still carrying, memories. That's what I think healing is. And it feels more compassionate and it feels more true because it's not a destination. The question is not how do I make this disappear? The question is how do I expand myself to include this, to be in relationship? Because it's the relationship that then allows me to, I can choose this or I can choose that. So I'll just leave you with this. Maybe healing isn't getting your old life back or making something disappear. Maybe healing is recovering the freedom to choose how you will meet life that you have right now. So maybe healing is recovering that freedom, the choice of how you will meet the life that you're having right now, which is the grief, which is the anger, which is the memory, which is the sadness, which is whatever is going on. That's what I think. I think it's recovering the freedom to choose how you will meet the life you're having right now.